Over the past year or so, the internet has seen a boom in AI-generated content across multiple platforms. Whether it is on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, every platform has been impacted by AI content creation in some way. Generative AI has the potential to greatly change the way we as people use social media and the internet as more people get access to powerful tools. Unfortunately, as with many things in life, there are both negative and positive aspects of AI. Generative AI can do as much harm to people as it does good, so it is important to discuss how this technology is impacting social media and the internet as a whole, things we use every day. Learning and understanding the capability of AI and using it ethically allows us to be better communicators and leaders in the digital world. In this video, I will discuss the current uses of AI in social media and content creation, the negative effects AI is having on social media and concerns we might have for the future, and lastly, the positive effects of AI for content creation in the future as it becomes more and more advanced. I won't be going too heavily into depth on how AI algorithms work at a foundational and technical level. Rather, I will spend time discussing how these algorithms are being used by social media users and the implications they carry as generative AI becomes more advanced in the future. While the technology of AI is still in its initial stages, it is still being used and experimented with in countless ways across various social media platforms. Some of the initial ways it is being used are through generating voices, writing, images, and even videos. The first generative AI platform to really get mainstream popularity was ChatGPT by the company OpenAI in late 2022, which attained a lot of its initial success through social media. ChatGPT was the most advanced generative AI chatbot available for users for free at the time. It amazed users because of its excellent conversational skills and how well it understood and interpreted prompts. Going back to the earliest examples of using AI for actual content creation can be seen on TikTok, when TikTok users began to make comedic videos using AI-rendered voices based on real-life famous figures. This was made possible by the company 11 Labs, which introduced sophisticated text-to-speech technology that could imitate the voice of any person given a data pool of voices to learn from. What was impressive about 11 Labs was that it was able to generate convincing audio that at times sounded like an actual person speaking. It would pick up on minor details such as vocal inflections, changes in tone and delivery, and the speed of one's delivery. After gaining rapid virality on TikTok, AI-generated content spread quickly to other prominent platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, where it was experimented with more and more. On Instagram, for example, many users experimented with AI content creation by generating photos of themselves in different environments, outfits, and even styles of media. This was primarily done through generative AI apps such as PixArt, Lensa, and Epic, where users could upload selfies of themselves and entirely transform them through AI. While a human could take hours to create an artwork of similar quality and design, this is all done through AI generation and is completed in seconds. This led many to see the potential of generative AI for content creation. Eventually, TikTok developed a filter for the app that utilizes AI to transform photos of people into Japanese manga-inspired illustrations. The filter quickly grew popular on TikTok, being used by many content creators to showcase comedic illustrations they generated. Many new filters were developed by TikTok and TikTok users subsequently after, which led to a further rise in popularity. At this point, many social media users became accustomed to AI-generated content, so it lost some of the novelty it originally had. Movements that initially gave generative AI its surge in popularity began to die down. It became evident that trends surrounding AI technology would come and go frequently, but at large, AI was here to stay. While a large number of previously observed instances of AI in social media did evolve into trends and memes, which grew their virality, some content creators have fully embraced AI and have even made it a focal part of their brand. On YouTube, for example, popular Dutch YouTuber PurplePlanetMusic announced through a video that he was going to make all of his future gameplay videos through AI rather than recording them himself. After this announcement, PurplePlanetMusic received a lot of backlash. However, he continued to post AI-generated content up until September of 2023, where he made a second announcement explaining that he was improving the production of his AI videos and investing more into them. PurplePlanetMusic explained that he decided to drastically change the format of his channel because he wanted to move on from YouTube. I mention this to highlight that we're already beginning to see this technology being taken to an extreme by a large creator to infinitely reproduce media for their brand. Another prominent social media platform that is investing in AI is Snapchat. Often considered a pioneer in the social media industry with its key story feature and its vast library of camera filters, Snapchat is not afraid to try new things and innovate. In February 2023, Snapchat introduced an AI chatbot powered by OpenAI that would respond to users with intuitive and engaging responses. Users quickly experimented and pushed the boundaries of what the chatbot could do, and the reception for the chatbot was mixed. Entrepreneur Rem Darbinian in the article How AI Transforms Social Media explains how generative AI is currently being used to enhance user experience on social media. Darbinian argues that, quote, AI is reshaping the way we interact and connect online because of the distinctive and artistic ways it is being used across social media platforms. It is important to consider how much AI is already intertwined with our digital lives and social media, and how much of it we do not consider. It can be easy to overlook on a day-to-day, but it is interesting to see how many platforms are already using AI to improve the experience of users. For example, extensions such as Grammarly on Google Chrome use AI to check for spelling and grammar mistakes, and sometimes even autocomplete words and sentences. On iOS, the operating system for the iPhone, iPad, and more, Apple has a similar feature where users can autocomplete words based on previous sentences. Having looked at some of the current uses of AI and how it has progressed on social media over the past year, it is interesting to see how AI will continue to evolve and consider some of the elements that can negatively impact social media. Artificial intelligence can certainly benefit content creation on social media by making people more efficient and expedient. However, what are the consequences of this, and who is primarily being affected by its continued growth? Many concerns about AI on social media come from independent artists and creators whose work is actively being used by AI algorithms to generate new content without their knowledge. This is alarming for artists because it lowers the value of their work by increasing competition and leaving them vulnerable to being replaced by AI. Kyle Chayka in the article, Is AI Art Stealing from Artists?, explores this issue of generative AI using work from others without their permission. Looking at how GitHub Copilot, an AI coding tool used by developers, used work from other programmers without giving permission, Chayka emphasizes, quote, human coders suddenly found their specialized labor reproduced infinitely, quickly, and cheaply without attribution, end quote. This is a similar story for many independent artists and creators because virtually any type of media can be generated using AI in today's day and age, ranging from photography to music. Despite that, AI not only uses others' work without permission or giving them credit, but it could also hurt the brand of creators as well, with so many imitations of their style circulating online and on social media that it becomes saturated, taking away from the actual artist's work. Another key point to keep in mind is that we are only in the initial stages of this technology. As the technology continues to evolve, will we be able to distinguish AI-generated content from human-generated content? If AI becomes advanced enough, it will eliminate the need for certain creators such as artists, music producers, or writers, changing the landscape of social media and content creation. This would be concerning for everyone who uses social media because it would take away the core focus of the platform and make it inorganic, a dystopian-like platform where there is little to no authenticity or human interaction anymore. While it may seem like artists are left with few options and solutions to this problem, there are a few ways creators can prevent AI companies and platforms from stealing their work. The Harvard Business Review article, "Generative AI Has an Intellectual Property Problem," continues this discussion on generative AI models using copyrighted work without the permission of creators. Writers Appel, Neilbauer, and Schweidel explain how the use of copyrighted work currently falls under a legal gray area and that creators should prevent AI algorithms from taking their work. If artists and creators do not act, they could potentially be at risk of generative AI platforms using their work. Another major concern of AI is that it can output false information on certain occasions that it believes is true. Misinformation is a very prevalent issue in today's day and age that can be very misleading and dangerous. Large AI platforms such as ChatGPT offer users the ability to generate text based on whatever prompt it is given. While ChatGPT and similar platforms provide users with a quick and effective experience, the risk is that it can provide false information that seems believable. This is dangerous for people who both create and consume content on social media because of the effects it can have on one's online brand and reputation. Generative AI platforms are excellent conversationally. In fact, improving conversation skills is a major attribute that AI companies are striving to improve every day. This means that they can make very convincing arguments for responses that are inaccurate or even false. Reporter Rhiannon Williams in the article, "Humans May Be More Likely to Believe Disinformation Generated by AI," describes how people are slightly more susceptible to misinformation generated by AI rather than misinformation made by humans. Williams explains, quote, "The generative AI boom puts powerful, accessible AI tools in the hands of everyone, including bad actors." End quote. This highlights how much generative AI can really impact social media if it's made accessible to the widespread internet. With the rise of AI chatbots that can provide dangerous misinformation, it is as important as ever to ensure that a source of information is correct and compared against other sources. Lastly, another concern that arises as generative AI becomes more advanced is the possibility that it can be used for malicious purposes. With the rise of generative AI use among consumers of social media, the presence of deep fakes on social media is much more apparent. Deep-faked content is media that has been altered heavily, oftentimes by AI and other tools, to produce entirely fake pieces of content. While not all pieces of deepfake content on social media are created with malicious intent and ill will, it is important to acknowledge the inherent dangers that this type of content and technology poses on social media. Deepfakes can mislead social media users, and it can be used to portray people in a negative way. I will not get into detail about the grossly unethical ways deepfakes are being used to intentionally harm people in this video. But there are already too many examples of this on the internet and social media, and it is unacceptable. AI platforms are the only ones who can seriously stop this issue from continuing, so they need to implement ways to detect and stop this type of content. Having looked at the concerns and dangers that generative AI platforms pose to social media and content creation on social media, it is important to highlight the many ways that AI is benefiting content creation and social media users. AI has the potential to greatly improve efficiency and output for creators on social media, lowering the barriers to entry for content creation even further. Through AI platforms previously seen, such as ChatGPT and 11 Labs, creators on social media have the potential to streamline their production of content and focus solely on creativity. Many of you might be asking, aren't the barriers to entry for content creation on social media already very low? I would agree with that question to some degree. However, over the past few years, as content creation has grown exponentially on the internet, the space has become oversaturated with creators, especially on YouTube. Some YouTube creators, such as Mr. Beast, Dude Perfect, and Mark Rober, invest thousands and sometimes even millions of dollars into the production of their videos. While these huge creators, or brands, are in the top 1% of all creators on social media, Small creators need to have better quality production in order to stand out compared to years ago. Similarly, on other platforms such as Instagram and TikTok, creators need to be unique and have adequate production in order to stand out from the majority of creators. Fallon Fatemi in the article 3 Ways Generative AI is Changing Media Creation describes how AI is giving social media users the opportunity to generate professional-grade content effectively and efficiently. Fatemi explains, quote, AI will allow for more people to express themselves artistically for faster development of the creative visions that creators wish to express. End quote. Generative AI image tools such as Midjourney and DALL-E allow users to generate professional quality images and artwork that would take humans much longer to produce. With AI, people do not need to spend time learning and developing a new skill. They only need to write a prompt. High-quality production and design enhance content on social media for users, so it is very important for creators to consider this when posting. A focal quality that AI has is that it enables users to be more creative and explore different subjects that would otherwise be difficult without the technical skill or ability. Creators can also take advantage of AI chatbots by using them to brainstorm and generate new post ideas. The article, How Generative AI is Changing Creative Work, explains how AI is changing aspects of content creation for all types of social media users and professionals across various industries. Authors Thomas H. Davenport and Nitin Mittal describe how generative AI is, quote, likely to revolutionize knowledge and creative work, end quote. As generative AI becomes more advanced in the future, it will help social media users navigate platforms more effectively and complete less engaging tasks more efficiently. As previously mentioned, through AI-based autocomplete and grammar checking, there are many small and minor ways that AI is enhancing the lives of social media users and content creators that we sometimes overlook. These overall improvements to user experience both benefit the users and consumers because they can make unsatisfying tasks less time-consuming and lead to a much greater focus on creativity in the long run. On social media platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter, users can use generative AI chatbots for inspiration on what to post and what topics to explore. Users can also work directly with AI chatbots to develop ideas and receive alternate viewpoints that they would have not considered before. As generative AI chatbots advance, they will be able to interpret our ideas more effectively, giving active feedback to any question one can have. Lastly, generative AI will benefit users and professionals in other unique ways that we can't even imagine yet. While it may seem that generative AI is capable of only producing images, text, and voices at the moment, there are a range of interesting applications that AI is being used for and experimented with today. They just haven't become accessible or popular to the majority of internet users yet. One example of this is AI-generated music. Currently, there are many companies working towards building generative AI music platforms such as Google and OpenAI, but they are not accessible to the widespread public yet. Similarly, various companies are experimenting with generative AI videos. Companies like Runway, Adobe, and DeepBrain AI offer AI text-to-video, editing for videos, and realistic avatar generation. As these tools develop more and become available to users, they will further change the way creators produce content and the way people interact with each other on social media. Generative AI will likely be implemented in many other aspects of social media and the internet in the future. The journal article, Artificial Intelligence in Social Media, describes how AI tools are affecting elements of social media for users, creators, and businesses. The authors explain that AI, quote, enhances the user experience and overall effectiveness of social platforms. It has the potential to transform how brands create and manage social media marketing, end quote. Future innovations in generative AI and AI tools will help users and professionals market themselves more effectively in a way that is still authentic and true to social media. As social media companies implement more AI tools on their platforms, users will leverage AI into their everyday lives more effectively. New AI technology will create more trends as users find creative and artistic ways to use the new technology. We will see more creators embrace these applications and find ways to make them more personal to them and their brand. Overall, while not everyone is going to be fully accepting of AI due to its controversial state, it is important to be aware of the ways it can impact us in the future. Generative AI can be used for good to help people express themselves creatively or become more effective and dynamic social media users. But it can also be used in unethical and damaging ways, so it is important for users to have responsibility and principle as more powerful AI tools appear in the future. The topic of AI is huge and connected with everything in the modern world, so I urge anyone who is interested to research and learn more for themselves. I hope people can apply this information to their lives on the internet and benefit from knowing the applications of AI on social media today and how it can change later on. Being aware of the latest technology is crucial in today's digital age, where innovations develop so quickly and knowledge is so important.